I'm in Paris for the first time. Here's everything I did on day 4 and whether or not I thought it was worth it. We're going to see some of the city's famous churches today. First up is Notre-Dame. It is really beautiful in here. I completely understand the hype. While the inside is gorgeous, the amount of detail on the exterior of this building is outrageous. It's stunning. Even the front doors. I could have spent a very long time standing here. The church is free and they do have online reservations that you can make a few hours before your visit. So at 7 a.m. on the day of my visit, I booked an entry time for 10 a.m. then was able to walk right in at that time with no line. Right down the street is another famous church worth checking out, Sainte-Chapelle. The stained glass in here is unlike anything I've ever seen before. The glass panels rise up 15 meters or about 50 feet. They're massive and have an insane amount of detail. And they have these fact sheets by the upper chapel entrance, so grab one of these if you want more information. You do need to pay to enter Sainte-Chapelle, and you also need to book this in advance. The upper chapel is small, so only a limited number of people are allowed in at a time, so the timed entry is strictly enforced and day of tickets are difficult to get. After visiting both churches, we walked along the Seine and had a quick picnic. The weather was so perfect during our visit. We were incredibly lucky. I preferred this lower walkway along the riverbank. It's relatively quiet compared to the upper walkway that runs along the road. That one is lined with stalls and it just got really crowded up there. We then walked over to the island of St. Louis, which I loved. It was so adorable here. We got some ice cream and just enjoyed the quiet for a bit. It was great. After we headed back over towards the Latin Quarter and popped into the Shakespeare & Co. bookstore. You cannot take photos or videos in here, but it is super cute. It was hard to browse the book selection though. You're definitely not in there alone. I think this is worth it when there's no line, but probably not worth waiting in line for. After this, we wandered around the Latin Quarter a bit. Parts of this area are super crowded. I do think it's worth seeing. It's very pretty, but just be prepared. After a bit of walking, we popped into a random bar and grabbed a few drinks before wrapping up our day with a sunset cruise along the Seine. This was so much fun. We did an hour-long happy hour cruise at sunset. I could have stayed on that boat for like 3 hours. The views were so beautiful. And I mean, look at this. I'm still daydreaming of the views. It was the most perfect way to wrap up day 4. See you tomorrow for day 5.